With his determined, steely gaze and distinctive hat, Napoleon Bonaparte is one of French history's most recognisable figures. A brilliant general, he forged his destiny in the French Revolution. Crowned emperor at 35, he went on to dominate Europe. But while many French people regard Napoleon as a hero, others say he's a source of shame, a tyrant and a cruel warmonger. Curators hope a new exhibition in northern France will help restore his reputation as a military and political visionary.
He rebuilt France after the revolution. Of course, there are parts of history that are hard to accept. Napoleon's authoritarian side and his desire to conquer Europe. If people have fallen out of love with Napoleon, it's because these days we value peace and we're not accustomed to wars like people were in his time.
Napoleon transformed France. He created many of its institutions, and his Napoleonic code still defines civil law across much of Europe. For visitors here, his legacy is clear.
Napoleon was a great figure of French history. We owe him a lot, our institutions and our schools.
In troubled times, he built an empire and restored order.
Napoleon's tomb is under the sumptuous dome of Les Invalides in Paris. It's one of the capital's most visited sites, testimony to his enduring appeal. Napoleon's youth and ambition, his love of symbols and his focus on Europe have led many people in France to draw parallels with President Emmanuel Macron. Like Napoleon, Macron presents himself as a man of the moment, one who can restore French glory. France's youngest president also promises to transform France and restore its prestige. Historians say Macron's regal leadership style can be traced back to Napoleon.
Napoleon embodied what an historian once called the myth of the savior. In World War II, Charles de Gaulle was seen as a savior. Let's see if Emmanuel Macron will be one. But there is no doubt French presidential elections focus on one person who can fix everything. And that is part of Napoleon's legacy.
The exhibition in Arras is called Images of a Legend. Whether those visiting will see Napoleon as a genius and reformer or an ambitious autocrat will depend on their perspective. But it's clear that more than 2 centuries after his death, Napoleon Bonaparte continues to fascinate. Natasha Butler, Al Jazeera, Paris.